Hello, my name is Jackie Lawrence and I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK at jackiestampingdreams.co.uk. Today I'm going to showcase some new products in the January to June mini catalogue which launches today. So anyway, I'm just going to put you down onto the desk and we can get crafting. So this is the card that I'm going to show you how to make today, and this is using the gorgeous Tulip of Fields bundle, and I absolutely love this. I was going to use a totally different set because I keep using the windmills and sorry, but I'm doing the windmills again. So this is the beautiful stamp set, absolutely gorgeous, and then the dies are just absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love them and I've been using them a lot. So first of all we need to stamp our windmill, and I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Now I have done my die cutting ahead of time just to save you watching me do that. So that is in Night of Navy, and I've also going to stamp the clouds in Balmy Blue because they will need to be die cut out for the card. Okay, and that can be put to one side. So then we need to colour our windmill. So I'm using one of the water painters, and this comes in a set of 3, and I'm using the smallest one, I think it is. So first of all I'm going to get the Night of Navy ink, and I'm going to use the lid as a palette. All you need to do is just, when you've got your lid closed, is squish the lid and the ink pad together, and that will transfer your ink into the lid. Alternatively, you could put a couple of drops of your re-inker in the lid as well, entirely up to you. But of course you could also stamp this in Memento black ink and then do different colours. Okay, sort of using your blend pens. So just going along that edge there. Then I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight ink. So just going over where the shading of the stamp. This is what I love about using stamps, is that all the shading etc is thought for you, and so you don't have to sort of overthink it as such. Okay, so just going in dark underneath the lines there. I'm going to bring that a little bit darker up there as well. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of Balmy Blue. And then just do a colour wash, blending that all in. Okay. And then once you've done that, you just need to die cut your images out. So here are my images here. Okay, right, so we'll put those to one side for a moment, and you need to bring in a piece of basic white. Now this measures 9.5 or 9.5 by 13.9 centimeters, and that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now I'm going to bring in this stamp here, absolutely gorgeous, but you will need the bigger block or your Stamparatus for this. Now I'm going to change the colourways up a little bit. So instead of starting with the, I think it was navy, I'm going to start with the Balmy Blue. So just sort of see what the different colourways look like. And then I'm just going to stamp that off centre, but if you wanted to have that in the center point you can. Okay, and this is where you start to build your colours up, and this is using this gorgeous stamp here. This would make actually a really good Christmas tree. So I'm just going to lay that down and I'm going to stamp. Now the way that I tend to do this is I put my point and line it up with the point on the other stamp, and then you can sort of maneuver your other bit of the stamp around, and then you can either have a slight gap in between each row, or like I've done on my previous card, I haven't left a gap, and then you just go in again on the other side and just sort of wiggle it around a bit and then place down. Now you're not going to get this perfect, but then tractors or whatever they use to plant the tulips aren't perfect either. And then I'm going to go in with the Night of Navy. So just putting my card at an angle, putting that point down so I can manoeuvre. So I'm just going to go down there. Oops. And hopefully I'll be able to go back in. I think that's it. Oh, that was good. Good recovery there. That's what I like about the clear stamps, that if you can sometimes save it. Not all the times, but sometimes. So again, just hovering, trying to just gauge where that row is going to go. And then we can go back in with the lighter colour. So I'm just going to use my chamois and just clean that off. I have cut my chamois down into quarters. Makes it a bit easier when you're using the Stamparatus. And then I'm going to go in with the Balmy Blue. So just inking that up, bring that round, find that central point, and then you can just manoeuvre the rest of your stamp, and hopefully that will work like that. And actually I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, so next we need to stamp the tree. So I'm going to put that in Misty Moonlight. And we do have a coordinating die for your tree, but I thought I'd just stamp that like so. So you have your tree, and then there's these sort of other little trees that are in the background as well. I think they're trees. There might be flowers actually, but I'm using them as in the background, like so. Okay, so that's that. Next I'm going to stamp some of the clouds. I know that we've already done the die cutting, but I didn't want it all just die cut out, so we can put some clouds in, going off the paper. And again, that is in the Balmy Blue. And where should we go? So then we can glue our windmill into place. So just using the liquid adhesive glue, and that can go down on that central point. And actually, before I glue my the sails down, I'm going to just pop on my die cut pieces as well. Like so. Really could do with my tweezers actually, but never mind. There you go. And then I'm just going to snip that side one off. Okay. So what I tend to do is I sit of an evening and I do my die cutting. So here are the gorgeous other dies, using the windmill and the sails, and then I've also die cut the little fences, and I've done that in basic white. So to glue my fences, I'm going to bring in my silicone mat. Apologies for the state of it, and I'm just going to squidge some glue there. And then I've got just a bath sponge, which I've put a tag on it as a handle, and I'm just going to go in and add some glue to the fence, and then I'm just going to pop that like so. You can make some really lovely scenes using this set. As I say, I have used it quite a bit, and I'm sure that I'm going to be using it all the time. Just need to get a bit more glue. That's it. And then the fence can go there. You could actually put the fences on before you glue the windmill down. That's probably a better idea. And then I've got another one here. Like so. And then just a little bit more glue for the last one. There you go. And then those little bits can be snipped off. Right, let's just get that sponge back again. That's it. Okay, so the technique that I'm going to show you today is called the Quilted technique, using a 3D embossing folder. Now if I bring that up to the camera, you might see that there's a little bit of texture on there. Okay, so the idea is that you glue your pieces and stamp your pieces into place, and then you run them through an embossing folder. So I'm going to use the Tasteful Textiles folder. So I'm just going to place that in. You will need to make sure that you haven't got any glue that's oozed out from attaching your elements, because then that will make it harder for you to get it out of the folder. So I'm just going to go along now to my cut and emboss machine and put that through the die cutting machine. Okay, so I've run that through and just take this out, and then that's nicely embossed, and that's also pushed those the die cut images into the paper as well, sort of embedded the paper. So for the sentiment, I've used a circle die, and that's from the Tasteful Label dies. You get 2 sizes, and I've already die cut that out. And then for the sentiment, I've teamed it up with the Timeless Tulips, which is in the annual catalogue, and I've put May the memories of yesterday comfort you today. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Okay, so just stamping down there. And then for my base card, I've got thick basic white, and this is just your standard card size, so whether it's the A4 or the US letter style size, and I've folded that in half, and then using a bone folder I've just burnished that crease. Now for the layer, I've got a piece of Night of Navy, and this measures 10 by 14.4 centimeters, and that is 4 by 5¼ inches. So your layers are just slightly less each time you go down. And as you can see, I've done some die cutting because we don't want to waste the card, so I've used the centre or the solid image of the windmill to use on another project. So we're just going to glue that down. Okay, so just glue that into place, and then your embossed layer can go on top. Like so. Then using some Stampin' Dimensionals, just take my Take a Pick tool, which is my favourite tool, and then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. And then that can be placed on like so. And then finally, I've got the last bit of my baker's twine. This comes in a set with some other colours in it as well. I think there's black, crumb cake, I think, and there might be 1 or 2 other ones I can't remember offhand, but I do tend to use my white one quite a bit. And I'm just doing a bow like so, and then that can just be snipped off, and then using a glue dot that can just be placed on the side like so, and then let's just make that a little bit smaller by folding that over, and then that can be placed on like that, and then you can sort of spend more time fiddling about with it than I perhaps am doing. So just snip that off. Okay, And then lastly, I'm just going to bring in my dimensional, not dimensionals, my basic rhinestones, and I'm just going to put one at the bottom there. Okay. So that is the front of your card done. Now, something that I didn't do, which I should have done really, is decorate the inside of the card. And we've got this lovely border here, and I don't think I've used that stamp yet. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to remove my other stamp and lay that down. And you could actually use this also on your envelope. So I'm just going to pick that up. And then let's see what we can do. So just stamp that at the bottom. Oops, it's a bit wonky, but never mind. And then I think I might stamp again. In a different colour. There you go. Okay, so that is your card finished. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and that I've inspired you to get this beautiful set. Enjoy the rest of the day, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel by hitting the bell button, and you'll be notified of any new videos that I upload. And do please leave me a comment, as I do like to receive feedback. Anyway, take care, keep well, keep safe. Bye.